the problem. A particle of mass 10 kilograms is pulled along a rough horizontal table by a force of 30 newtons against a frictional force of 5 newtons. So given that the particle is initially at rest, so the velocity when the time is 0 is equal to 0 meters per second, I have to find the acceleration of the particle and the distance traveled by the particle in the first 4 seconds, and finally I have to find the magnitude of the normal reaction between the particle and the table. So first, let me draw the three-body diagram. Now, I know that my particle is being pulled by a force of 30 newtons. So this is my force of 30 newtons. And I have a frictional force of 5 newtons. And I know that the direction of the frictional force is always opposite to the direction of motion or to the horizontal force. So my frictional force will act to the left and the magnitude is 5 newtons. I have here a normal reaction force, so N, and here I have the weight of the particle, which is 10 times g, and g is the gravitational acceleration. So the weight is 10 g. So now let me do a quick sketch of my free body diagram. So I have this particle. Here I have 30 newtons, 30. Here I have 5. Here is my normal reaction force, and here is my weight, which is 10 g. So in part A, I need to find the acceleration. So F is equal to ma. So what's my resultant force? I have a force that is pulling my particle to the right, and another force, which is the frictional force, that is pulling my particle to the left. So the resultant force is 30 minus the frictional force, which is 5, and this is equal to the mass, which is 10 times A. So I will divide here by 10 and here by 10. So A, which is the acceleration, is 30 minus 5, which is 25 over 10, and the answer is 2.5 meters per second squared. In part B, I have to find the distance traveled during the first 4 seconds. So I know that S, which is the distance traveled, is equal to ut plus half at squared. Now, why am I using this formula? Because I know that the particle is moving at a constant acceleration. So whenever I have a constant acceleration, the distance is equal to ut plus half at squared. So what's u here? Now I was given that the particle is initially at rest, so the speed when the time is 0 is equal to 0 meters per second. So u, which is the initial velocity, is equal to 0 times the time, which is 4, plus half times the acceleration, which is 2.5, times t squared, which is 16. Because the time is 4 seconds, so 4 squared is 16. So the distance traveled, so this is 0. So the distance traveled is half times 2.5 times 16. So it's equal to 20 meters. Now in part C, I have to find the normal reaction. So this normal reaction N is equal to 10g. So N is equal to 10g, which is equal to 10 times 9.81, So the answer is 98.1 newtons.